Too cute. Chae-min and Yoon-ah hold hands in a tender moment at the airport. Hello everyone, from the team at Warm greetings. Thanks for reading, and if you enjoy our coverage, please consider supporting our YouTube channel. Note: this article contains some interpretive details based on publicly circulating clips and fan reports. A number of scenes here are inferred and may not reflect the full, verified reality. The scene reads like a rom-com storyboard. Two figures step from a car into the arrivals hall, the hum of Incheon International Airport around them, and then, in a small gesture that instantly becomes a headline, their hands find each other. It's the sort of image that short-circuits rational commentary and sends hearts into orbit. Phones lift, flashes pop, fans inhale. In an instant the arrival is no longer about luggage or flight times. It is about electricity, about the idea that two people might be quietly rewriting the script of their own public story simply by touching. Yoon-ah arrives like she always seems to arrive in our imaginations, poised, composed, and effortless. Her face is familiar to millions. Sunny in photos, precise on camera, private in the ways only a public person can be. Beside her is Chae-min, unexpectedly steady and close. The two move through the throng, hands lightly clasped, not a dramatic embrace but a domestic, almost accidental holding of hands that says, in its modesty, everything a megaphone could not. Fans gasp. Someone threads a yellow circle and arrow into a collage for the internet. Headlines find work for their bold fonts. If you've spent time online in the last few years, you know how images like this behave. Edited, slowed down, replayed, debated. Are they in love? Captions arrive, almost as quickly as the pixels themselves. But there's a humor to the moment, too, the private human comedy of two people walking through a noisy public place and making the simplest choice to steady one another. It reads romantic because we want it to, and because small private gestures feel scandalous when exposed to the spotlight. The airport choreography is a study in contrast. Under sterile fluorescent lighting and among rolling suitcases, gentle warmth breaks through. A smile, a touch, a supportive step. Fans, banners aloft, phones ready, become a chorus. Security acts like stagehands, gently guiding bodies and energy. Yoon-ah pauses to sign. She laughs with genuine warmth. Chae-min stands a step behind, attentive and calm. It is here, in the theater of the arrival, that the handhold lands like punctuation. Small, human, impossible to ignore. But if you've followed the pair's public lives, you'll know this moment sits inside a larger story. These two have been photographed together before, have publicly praised one another on variety shows and award stages, and have shown repeated gestures of professional affection, a quick hug after a long day, a knowing smile off camera, a hand on a shoulder when a scene lands particularly well. On set, those things read as kinship. Senior to junior, mentor to mentee, colleagues who have learned to rely on each other. Outside the set, any accidental handhold becomes evidence in a narrative the public prefers tidy and dramatic. Here's where the romance in the retelling gets both charming and slightly farcical. Every tiny moment is transformed into proof, and proof into plot. A bracelet caught at a cuff becomes a clue. An Instagram story taken at 2 a.m. blooms into a chapter. The truth is rarely as neat as the montage. Most gestures that translate as tender are the language of performers who have rehearsed vulnerability for a living. They know how to make a glance land, how to convey trust in a single beat. That craft can be confused, understandably, for something more private. Still, it would be dishonest to pretend that the handhold means nothing. There is a human warmth there that makes it beautiful to watch. Whether it is the easy affection of two friends, a moment of comfort between colleagues, or the more charged intimacy of two people who might be quietly exploring something personal, the image is potent. Because it is small and because it feels honest. It is also a reminder that even the simplest human touch gains magnitude when placed under public scrutiny. There's comedy in the spectacle, too. The internet's hunger for meaning turns ordinary behavior into a conspiracy. Fans clip, loop, and analyze the same 2 seconds until everyone involved looks either heroic or villainous depending on the day's mood. But if we step back for a second, breathe, maybe roll our eyes a little, we can see a softer truth. Two professionals who work long hours together, who share the same emotional labor of making scenes believable, who sometimes hold hands simply because one of them is tired, cold, or in need of a steadying palm. That is both less clickbait and more humane. For all the romance the photos inspire, another important fact is visible. Both stars have recently seemed tired of the speculation. The weariness shows in their measured statements and the way they navigate crowds with quiet efficiency. They're artists, actors, public figures, and they're also people who deserve a margin of privacy. Hand-holding at an airport should not be a summons for an entire fandom to dissect feelings, timelines, and hidden motives. If romance is a delightful hypothesis, so is courtesy. Let them be human. So what's the takeaway from an image that will, no doubt, be screenshotted into eternity? Enjoy the beauty of the moment. Smile at the unexpected tenderness. Allow yourself a little rom-com fantasy if that's your pleasure. But also remember that celebrities are not plot devices. They are living, breathing people who sometimes need a hand to hold. That has nothing to do with a headline. In reality, the images circulating online right now are scattered, inconsistent, and in many cases lack proper context. Different accounts are reposting the same frames with conflicting captions, while some clips appear to be edited or cropped in ways that make it difficult to understand what actually happened. Our team is currently reviewing angles, timestamps, and original sources to determine which visuals are legitimate and which may simply be misunderstandings created by the speed of social media sharing. This process takes time, and we want to ensure that what we present to the audience is accurate rather than rushed. Because of this uncertainty, we sincerely encourage viewers to treat these unverified images as light, entertaining stories rather than confirmed events. Speculation can be fun, but it should not turn into pressure or unfair expectations placed on the individuals involved. Until the information is verified, it's best to enjoy the buzz with a smile and remember that sometimes the internet creates a narrative far bigger than the truth itself. Let's give the situation room to breathe, while we continue to check the facts carefully and responsibly. If this story brought a flutter to your heart, and you'd like more coverage that tries to be fair, curious, and a little playful about the lives of stars, please support on YouTube. And if you'll do one small kindness for the people in these photos, give them the space to keep making the shows and stories you love without turning every private gesture into public evidence. Sometimes the most romantic thing we can offer is a little restraint, and in a world that loves drama, that restraint might be the kindest, most grown-up love story of all.